You are all weirdos.
Weird science is the revolution. Weird science is the revolution.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Weird Science DC Comics Solicit Show, where I'm going to be going through the solicits for August of 2023. And, as we know, one of the spookiest months of the year, because these will be dominated by night terrors with a K. Now, if you haven't heard or watched these solicits before, I will give you the title, the creative team, the price, page count when it comes out, and we'll read the solicit and maybe have a couple laughs along the way. We will try to have a couple of laughs, though this is continuing the spookiest months of the year. If you didn't know, July and August are the spookiest months of the year. And some people, since I said that, have asked me, well, Jim, if that's the case, where does October fall into things? And I think it's pretty obvious that's 7th. So we're going to start off with Night Terrors number 3. That's with a K. Written by Joshua Williamson with art by Giuseppe Camuncoli, Stefano Nessi, and Casper Lingard. That is $3.99, 32 pages. It is 3 of 4, and it comes out on August 8th. Now, here is the solicit. But before we get into the solicit, actually, I just want to remind everyone what I ended up saying about Night Terrors with a K is that, okay, listen, Joshua Williamson, he didn't hit real hard with the Dark Crisis. I think that most people will agree with that. But since then, I've actually really enjoyed his Superman book, and I've enjoyed the first issue of his Green Arrow, the second one coming out the week that I'm recording this. But overall, okay, I kind of remember that he's a pretty decent writer. And so with this Night Terrors with the K, I think that I'm going to end up reading and reviewing every issue, and it's going to be covered on our podcast, on YouTube, on our Patreon, everything combined. We will talk about every single Night Terrors issue, all the times, all of that. But if I was buying things, I think I would actually buy the main book first, see if that's okay. If that's not good, then that's it. You just push it aside, okay. But if that's good, then you kind of sit, okay, well, I like this creative team, or I like that character. I'm not saying that everybody has to go and read everything, but before we pish-posh it, let's at least give 1 or 2 issues of the main book a chance. And then if it's good or not, we decide from there. It's kind of a tiered deal, going up and down the steps, right? I'd rather go down the steps than up, obviously. But still, it does give you a little bit of at least giving it a shot. So here is Night Terrors with a K, number 3. Welcome back, ghouls and ghosts. Oh, my. Dead Man here. Oh, here we go. I forgot all about this, and I'm telling you, I cannot stand when they play this game, because then I always do think that I need to do an accent as I'm reading these, especially out loud. So you have Boston Brand. Again, he's from Boston. So I don't see Wicked Cool in there, so it's already off. But the only accent I can do is like a really bad British accent, so it's not going to fit here. Hello, love. Dead Man here. Boston Brands again. Right? You see, I'm like a chimney sweep. My horror adventure continues as the sleepless nights with a K attack us, but now I have a new problem. Besides me doing a bad accent for him, Batman's son Damien is furious and keeps trying to fight me. My only safe haven is ... the House of Horror. Oh, he's coming to Quakertown. So you have all that that might be fun. I don't need your nonsense with the, hey, Boston Brand here. Again, what you're trying to do in this, and I understand that people get bored with their jobs. You get hired to be the security guard at like a gate into a factory. And at first you're all inspired, you're checking everything, then you just wave them on. It takes about 2 weeks in my deal. You just wave everybody on. What? You got to keep going. Guns ablaze? Yeah, keep going. So I think that the people doing these solicits, which at one point was the authors and the creative teams, but I think it comes down to like an assistant editor now. There's a lot of solicits to write. I think they kind of get bored. So, why don't we play some games? Dead Man here. But does that end up what the solicit's supposed to do? Get people inspired to order or buy the book? No, I'm not sitting there. Oh my God, Boston Brand is telling me I got to get this. I mean, Boston Brand says it. Everybody listens, right? Holy moly. Night Terrors number 4 with a K. written by Joshua Williamson. Same art team, but I'll repeat it. Giuseppe Comencoli, Stefano Nessi, and Casper Wingard. $3.99, 32 pages, 4 of 4. This is the finale, and it comes out on August 22nd. Insomnia. Remember, that's the villain, not just what I suffer from each and every night, which kills me. Searches the nightmares of all the heroes for his precious nightmare stone and keeps on coming up empty-clawed. Wesley Dodds, Batman, and I we're still Boston Brand here. See, I thought we got away from that, but then you have the I. But never saying it's Boston Brand, so who's going on? These are not well done. I must return to the haunted Arkham Tower to confront insomnia. You really have to tell people that this is Boston Brand. And you also, just to point out, you're never going to have Wesley Dodds Sandman as the narrator because nobody has any clue what's going on there. But now I know why Insomnia hates the heroes. And I got to be honest, I'm having a wicked hard time not relating. Maybe Insomnia is owed his revenge. Look at that. Look at who's, turncoat here. Old Deadman, Benedict Deadman out of nowhere. Take that. Seriously, though, you got to spell out Boston Brand here again. Even though it sounds silly, you said Boston Brand here. Ay. Night Terrors, Night Ends with number 1. There's only 1 K. Oh, I'm already having problems. Written by Joshua Williamson, art and cover by Howard Porter. It is $5.99. Holy moly, 48-page one-shot. And this is on sale on August 29th. This is an annuals month. August will have an annuals month, so annuals week. So that'll be on that annuals week. Not a lot. When I went through this, because if you don't know, on our Patreon, when it is an annuals week, the whole podcast, we don't actually have a podcast on the regular feed. We have it Patreon only. So I always want to look to see, is there going to be anything to entice people? And lately I'm like, no. I think this month is an annuals month, if you're not aware. I think the big draw for this month's annuals week is that Power Girl special. That ain't no draw. So you have this Night Terrors finale, special oversized issue. It's 48 pages. Don't get that excited. Seriously, they're pushing it like it's like 200 pages. Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman, along with the DCU's other heroes, have escaped the Nightmare Realm only to find the Nightmare League has followed them home. Oh no, not amalgam characters of our favorite heroes. We haven't seen that in like 3 minutes. The entire world is becoming engulfed in horror. I guess that's pretty accurate. And the last person standing to take down Insomnia is Deadman. But does he want to? I don't know. I solicit before the guy's turncoat. He's going to end up, he's stabbing everybody in the back. And don't miss the exciting ending that continues the dawn of DC mystery and introduces Dr. Hate. Wait, who is Dr. Hate? That actually was my morning zoo name back in Cleveland in the 80s. Dr. Hate here, spinning all the platters that matter. Night Terrors with a K. Thrills and Chills are brought to you by DC Comics architect and superstar writer Joshua Williamson, with horrific art by comics legend Howard Porter. Now, I love Howard Porter. A lot of people don't like him. It's up to you whether you like somebody or not. But really, when you start saying that Joshua Williamson is the architect and the superstar, that really seems like a lot of lip service. And, I don't know. I think he should lay low a little. I think he's doing well with the Superman and the Green Arrow, trying to get that superstar status maybe back in order. But we'll see. We'll see. When you push that, though, you always push that to people who aren't exactly that. Right? I don't know. Night Terror. Now we're going to go into the tie-ins. These are going to be the tie-ins. But all the tie-ins have 2 issues. And I keep being asked, hey, Jim, why are you such a jerk? And I don't answer those people, but I'm also asked what books are continuing, what books are going to be out there to buy during this Night Terrors. Now, obviously, those won't be these 2-issue tie-in deals. But when we get to it, that's another reason why I do end up liking to do the solicits, especially for the spookiest months of the year. Night Terrors Batman number 2, though, is written by Joshua Williamson with art and cover by Gilliam March. That comes out on August 1st. It's $4.99, 40 pages, 2 of 2. Bruce is trapped inside the Nightmare Realm, haunted by the dark shadows that he's created. To escape, he must regain control of his body. but that means going deeper into his own mind than he's ever gone before until the next time. Can Batman make himself scarier than he's ever been to survive? Also, what nightmares have Arsenal and Black Canary confronted in the Nightmare Realm? Well, we'll see. We shall see. I don't know. These things, I want to kind of be optimistic about. I don't want to pish-posh things before they come out. But some of this stuff just doesn't seem that interesting. But hey, that might just be me. Night Terrors with a K, Detective Comics #2, written by Dan Waters, art and cover by Riccardo Federici. $4.99, 40 pages, 2 of 2, on sale August 22nd. After seeing diamonds violently pour out of a woman's mouth, that's like cha-ching. I'd be there with a bag. And the metal of his old Batman robo-suit soldered onto someone's flesh to wear around Gotham. I mean, that's like pimping my bunny suit. Jim Gordon slowly realizes that the good people of Gotham, in quotes, being represented by monstrous ideations of power, wealth, and knowledge, aren't very good people at all. Like, I don't mind Dan Waters, but this sounds like garbage. Jim's investigation leads him to a mysterious clock, and he goes to Oracle to help it trace who or what is causing this nightmare. But whether he is able to wake up from it or at all will be up to more than just himself. So let me repeat that. Jim Gordon slowly realizes that, quote, the good people of Gotham being represented by monstrous ideations of power, wealth, and knowledge aren't very good people at all. All right. Next up is Night Terrors, Nightwing #2. I'll spare everybody the with a K for at least a couple of these now. Written by Becky Cloonan and Michael W. Conrad, CC. You know it has to be great. Art and cover by Danielle De Nucciolo. Nailed it. $4.99, 40 pages, 2 of 2, August 15th. Nightwing's worst nightmare is to wake up one day realizing he murdered someone he loves and doesn't even remember how or why he did it. Again, I thought his worst nightmare was being written by Clunrad, but that's just me. And that's exactly the nightmare verse in which Insomnia has placed him, while memories of who Nightwing killed and how he did it start flashing back vividly in his head. To make matters worse, he'll have to work with his cellmates Two-Face and Scarecrow to get out of this one alive. We'll see how that goes. I don't think it's going to go great. Night Terrors Poison Ivy #2, written by G. Will Wilson, with art by Atagun Ilhan. That's $4.99, 32 pages, August 1st. It comes out, I'm sorry. Pamela Isley and Harleen Quinzel are so absolutely, utterly in love that everything and everyone around them is just aces. Their neighbors are so happy it hurts. Why, even the sun is smiling, kind of like that creepy one in the Teletubbies that becomes a baby. But when a few rotten eggs sneak into Ivy's perfect little cul-de-sac, things start to go foul. Uh-oh, somebody's going to call somebody chicken. Can the verdant villainess escape the clutches of her own spoiling dream house before it eats her and Janet from HR alive? Oh, thank God Janet from HR's there. She'll be able to help, right? Next thing, they're at an Eyes Wide Shut party. Things are going wacky again. All of this, though, and people have pointed out after the first solicit came out of this, it just ends up a lot like the Vision, TV show, the Scarlet Witch stuff. That's all it seems like, and I'm sure that's what it's going to be like. But hey, there you go. Night Terrors Catwoman #2. Thank God Teenie Howard's involved. Written by Teenie Howard, art by Leela Lees. $4.99, 32 pages. Comes out August 15th. Catwoman is stuck in a nightmare in which her sister Maggie parades around Gotham as its savior, Sister Zero. After rescuing Bruce from the Joker, Catwoman calls him Batman, to which he asked her how she knew his name, since he had only called himself that in his head. What year is it in this Gotham? Why does Joker have snakes for limbs? And can Sister Zero and Catwoman pray themselves out of this nightmare? Well, here's the thing. All of these are nonsense, right? I think that most people will agree, especially because we have no real context to them yet. So how can you be that bad that you actually up the bar that much in nonsense that what I just read? I mean, the others are like, man, how's that going to work? Or what's going on? This one I'm reading, and the words are just, I don't even know that they even make sense pressed together. Oh, my goodness. Night Terrors, Harley Quinn #2, because one book from Teenie Howard isn't enough. Written by Teenie Howard, art and cover by Hayden Sherman. And yeah, you have a backup to make it even worse by Leah Williams. And this is $4.99, 40 pages, goes on sale August 22nd. What unseen horrors lurk beyond the borders of the known and the clown with a K? Whew. A whispered secret from the elbow of a garden gnome. A parking lot pass that was lost under the antediluvian car seat from hell. And a nihilistic grease trap that does taxes incorrect. See, I said the Catwoman one did it. She upped herself here. A nihilistic grease trap that does taxes incorrectly, as if a happy grease trap that does taxes properly is fun. All of these things and more are not in this comic. It's Harles again. Part 2 of this story is just as weird and whacked out to the max as the last one. See, this is, again, why does this always end up me getting angry? The solicit shouldn't make you angry. Just the idea that was just, they're punking me. They're trying to mind freak me. And then to pull out of the punk, I have to put myself in the character of Harley. That's beyond anything but just pure out bullshit. And now I'm angry. I'm not having fun. I thought this would be fun. Somebody told me it was fun. And go toe-to-toe with one of Superman's greatest foes. I'm telling you right now, solicits are supposed to make you want to buy a thing. I'm not going to read this issue because of this. I am now making a stand against bullshit solicits where they tell me fucking nonsense. Plus, my best pals, Leah Williams and Ben Templesmith, of course, Harley would be best friends with Leah, are turning the clocks backwards and forward in conclusion of their Chrono Detective Cosmic Mystery Dream story. Leah Williams, there you go, and Teenie Howard. Everybody. Well, I wish I had some applause that I could have.
How dare you?
All right. I'm gathering my thoughts here. I don't usually do this. I'm gonna take a drink here. I wish it was a stiff one. It's cold coffee. It's from this morning. And that will at least shock my system into maybe being able to continue this, because this is complete and utter bullshit. You're already dealing with stories that everybody seems to not be wanting to get involved with. And then to try to convince them to get involved, you play your fucking games. I don't need your damn games. I went, Night Terrors, the Joker, #2. Oh, now is this? I swear to God, it's just punking me. Written by my favorite Matthew Rosenberg, art and cover by Stefano Raffaele. Right? Is Matthew Rosenberg? Do they think he's become the Joker guy? Maybe it's because he's a joke. I don't know. $4.99, 40 pages, 2 of 2. Comes out August 1st. The Joker's nightmares have been terrifying and horrific. But what does the clown prince of crime have locked away that might be the most disturbing reveal of the year? Maybe a notebook with all the stories Teenie Howard hasn't told yet. Maybe that's it. Maybe. Night Terrors Robin #2. Okay, I like Kenny Porter. Written by Kenny Porter. Art by Miguel Mendonca. I like Miguel Mendonca as well. It's $4.99, 32 pages, and it goes on sale August 8th. Please, Kenny, take me away. He's like my personal Calgon. Take me out of this crazy thing. The undynamic duo of Tim Drake and Jason Todd are on death's door, lost in their own personal hells with their worst nightmares around every corner and nowhere to run. The two Robins must put aside their differences and find the strength to overcome their fears and fight back. All right. Mission statement. You got the characters' names in there. I don't have to play little games. I don't have to act out things. Boom. Everybody buy Night Terrors Robin #2, just because of that. Night Terrors Superman #2, written by Joshua Williamson with art by Tom Riley. It is $4.99, 32 pages, goes on sale August 15th. Cross our fingers. In the terrifying nightmare realm, that's with an N, Superman and Supergirl search for answers in the rest of their family, but Superman is pulled into a haunted part of Metropolis's past, where he learns more about Marilyn Moonlight. No, now I see what we're doing. Why? I want Jimmy to go back in time to fight her in the Old West and maybe make a Beatles trend or something going in there. In the waking world, an unlikely DC superhero family works to save the world from the sleepless nights. Hey, you know what? I'm laughing about this, but I don't mind. First off, that Marilyn Moonlight stuff, I'm glad kind of that it's in here. It looks like complete nonsense. So you set it up. Okay, cool. And then you go in here, but I do like that, little play that there'll be the waking world and the sleep world. You got the dream warriors, and then you have the other people. I don't mind that. So, kudos. Night Terrors Action Comics #2, written by Leah Williams and Philip Kennedy Johnson, art by Vasco Georgiev and Miko Suyan. $4.99, 48 pages, goes on sale August 22nd. Reality Bites. I've seen that movie. You're right. With her perfect nightmare world slowly showing its cracks. Sexy. Power Girl searches for answers, hoping to find a villain to punch and a way out. Little does she know a threat from her past is here to control her future. Now, this is Leah Williams writing Power Girl, so who the hell knows what her past is? Who knows? Hey, we'll see. Plus, in the Nightmare Realm, that's in the real world. In the Nightmare Realm, a hideously transformed cyborg Superman is consuming the super family one by one. Who will be the final L? L2? I was going to make a joke. It didn't come out right. And can the powerless... See, I'm not very good either. And can the powerless super twins find a way to fight back before Cyborg Superman claims them all? L2 something? Night Terror. See, I'm going to blame all this nonsense. Usually it would be worse than that. At least I chuckle. Night Terrors, The Flash #2, written by Alex Paknadal, art by Daniel Bayliss. It's weird. I want to say that I'm an Alex Paknadal fan. First off, I guess it's Alec, because I was going to say, I don't like that K at the end. Like, I want to say Alex with a K, but I think it's Alex, so I'm completely wrong. But Alec Paknadal is like so up and down. It's either I love it or hate it. So I hope that I love this, but I don't know. We'll see. $4.99. Alec. Why do I just see it and I just say Alex. $4.99, 32 pages, on sale August 8th. As Barry Allen plunges deeper into the nightmare realm, he's confronted with his biggest fears and experiences some of the most shocking events that took place before his return. Barry continues to run free of the terror, but something's gaining on him. I hope it's not the Black Racer, because that happened before. Got dead. Now, when he says his return, does he mean, I think the first solicit for this, if I'm not mistaken, is really talking about his return from all the nonsense from the, Justice League Incarnate, Infinite Frontier, Dark Crisis. But seriously, Barry has been through so much that what could scare that guy? I don't know. Night Terrors Wonder Woman #2, written by Josie Campbell and Stephanie Williams. Okay. I wish actually, and I know that a lot of people are upset about Tom King writing Wonder Woman, but I kind of wish that he was writing this. I kind of wish he'd get a little play, especially something where he's allowed to be kind of dark and crazy. Get it out of his system. Let him do his nonsense in the Night Terrors with a K. And then after the spookiest months of the season, you get to September, he's got it all out of his system and really starts just writing the fun stuff. And I did mention, if you don't listen to our podcast, and if you're watching this on our YouTube channel, I do put the podcast up on the YouTube channel as well. And, it might be a little too long for some, but, sometimes size does matter. So when you go through this, I did mention, though, about Tom King. And why couldn't he have just stepped aside? And when he ended up doing this recent Batman Brave and the Bold, just last week came out, why couldn't he get out of his own way and just out of nowhere, just write the most fun thing? Like sit there and read the actual Batman Superman World's Finest by Mark Waid, how fun that book is, and say, yeah, hold my whatever, and then just out that. It's so fun. But here, just get the nonsense out of his system. Let him write Wonder Woman. Can we do this? Can we actually have them start right now and say, okay, Josie Campbell, Stephanie Williams, we love you and all, but you step aside. We need Tom King here. I don't know. It's the only time I'll ever yell for Tom King, seriously. And I didn't even get to the artist, Juan Ferreira, one of my favorites, and Megan Hetrick, who I do like as well. But Juan, I am eternally grateful to Juan because he had put me and Eric from our DC Comics podcast in about 7 issues. of Green Arrow. I like to mention it because I'm a selfish guy. You might be a selfish prick trademark, but $4.99, 40 pages. It goes on sale August 15th. No Way Out. The Justice League Dark find themselves trapped in a labyrinth of horror as Wonder Woman grapples with her deepest fears and insecurities. See, let Tom King do it. He'll go full out and then get it out of the system. Will the warrior of truth fall to the lies of the nightmare realm? See, and just as an aside, I did also have a video up about character development and progression, things like that. When I say about progression, Wonder Woman is the one that really comes into my mind because nobody anymore can do anything except mention the truth in anything that's going on. You got to get past that for at least one story. I understand she's a truthful gal, but that can't be. And what ends up happening, and this is just an aside soapbox deal, is I hate the idea that what these writers think are character work are just one, and this goes with anything, not just Wonder Woman the Truth, because I'm sure that you can come up with a bunch of other examples in your head, but they end up where one trait then becomes a whole character, and then they just keep going, and then the next writer can't do any sort of groundwork and read other things, and then, oh, well, they said it was like, and it's that perpetual motion engine of nothingness. Nonsense. Will the warrior of truth fall to the lies of the nightmare realm? I'm guessing no. Plus, Nubia takes on the lost souls of Tartarus to prove her worthiness as queen of the Amazons. And I don't like when I hear Tartarus because I think of the tartar on like teeth and stuff, and it makes me upset because I don't like going to the dentist. Night Terrors Titans #2, written by Andrew Constant, art by Scott Godlewski, $4.99, 32 pages, goes on sale August 22nd. As Nightmare rages on, and the monstrous versions of the team roam the halls of Titan's Tower, a young girl finds herself trapped inside the building. How did she get there? I'm guessing the front door. And what heroes can possibly save her? Not Wally, as the Titans face their worst fears. Ooh-wee. Yeah, R.I.P. Night Terror Shazam #2, written by Mark Waid, art by Roger Cruz. I always mention this. I mentioned it last time. The cover by Dan Mora. And Roger Cruz, fine artist, right? But I think that having the cover by Dan Mora, it's not a bait and switch. It just ends up getting you excited. It's just the cover. $4.99, 32 pages. It goes on sale August 8th. And what I'm saying is Dan Mora's a hell of an artist. Trapped in the nightmare realm, Mary Marvel thinks she's discovered her greatest fear, but she is wrong. She won't emerge from her dreamscape the way she entered it. Is it going to be one of those, this is going to get worse before it gets better? And hopefully she didn't go in like in a nice way and now she has, I don't know. At least not if the Nightmare Captain has anything to say about it, and that sounds really bad. The Nightmare Captain. Aye, aye, Captain. All aboard to the Nightmare Realm. Oh, my goodness. I hope that the Nightmare Captain, which is Billy, I hope he kind of does look like Freddy Krueger. And so he's like, hey, get on board, bitch. Like everything's bitch. That'd be funny. I think people might have a problem with it, but I would laugh. Night Terrors Green Lantern #2. It's a nightmare, bitch. You just keep saying. Night Terrors Green Lantern #2. Now, I'm saying all that. Now, please, if they did have a solicit that it's like, hey, here I am, Freddy Krueger, I would actually enjoy reading that one. Now, that would be fun at every third word. Well, we can pretend it. Here it is. Trapped in the nightmare realm, Mary Marvel thinks she's discovered her greatest fear, but the bitch is wrong. She won't emerge from her dreamscape, bitch, the way she entered it. At least not the Nightmare Captain has anything to say about it, bitch. And scene. Night Terrors Green Lantern #2. I hope everybody realizes that when I do these things, it does tend to go a while, but mainly it's funny because I end up making jokes and I try to amuse myself because it usually, but that's what takes so long. Night Terrors Green Lantern #2. I really do worry though, because some people seem to have fun with me doing this, but then there's always that one person every time I do this, especially now that I put it on YouTube as well. There's always that one person who doesn't get that I'm joking and they lose their mind and yell at me and it makes me sad. And then I sit there and I do sit there and think, okay, next time I'm just going to read these. But then I start reading them, and I just have fun with them. Night Terrors Green Lantern #2. Please have fun with me is what I'm saying. Written by Jeremy Adams and Alex Seguera. Art by Eduardo Pensico, Julio Ferreira, and Mario Foxillo. I had problems with that last time, but Jeremy Adams, I'll read anything that he does. $4.99, 40 pages, on sale August 8th. I had to look again. I'm like, what is... Oh, Green Lantern. That makes sense. As Hal Jordan is swallowed by the nightmare wave, Earth's Green Lantern shows this new malevolent threat what a man with the willpower to overcome fear can do. Meanwhile, as Sinestro grapples with the terrifying new dreamscape he's trapped in, we take a psychological roller coaster ride through his darkest fears and most painful regrets. I bet that's going to deal with his daughter, and also his greatest fear would be Hal Jordan's his dad. That's my guesses. Night Terrors Black Adam #2, written and drawn by Jeremy Haun. I'm looking forward to this one. And of all the things, like Jeremy Haun, I wouldn't say is my favorite writer artist, but I really do like him. And I haven't read a lot of his things recently. So I'm actually really one of the ones I'm looking forward to the most. And it's Black Adam, who, all in all, not really that interested in personally. So that shows you. You get some good things going. All right. $4.99, 32 pages, goes on sale August 1st. A powerless Black Adam has undertaken a perilous and dangerous journey in the nightmare realm with a mysterious feline guide. Is that just going to be like Cheetah, or are we going to end up like it's like the Egyptian gods, like that sort of thing? Is it now? I want to say the god that I think is of it, but I don't want to say it because I'll be wrong and I'll look dumb. And I do love Egyptian mythology. So, and again, I say this, it never says Egyptian mythology anyway, but that's what I'm guessing. That's what I'm guessing. But a terrifying monster stalks him from the shadows and prepares a trap for the warlord. Ooh-wee. Oh, God, we'll have to see. Night Terrors Angel Breaker #2. Angel Breaker, right? I don't know much about Angel, but obviously nobody really knows that much about Angel Breaker. I do want to know more about her, but not in the Night Terrors with a K. I kind of want to know in the real deal. And Tim Seeley's another one of those guys that there's things that I did really like that he has done, but for the most part, it doesn't really connect with me much. But I'll tell you, I like the name of the artist, Aki Bright. I think I said that. Aki Bright. You have to say it like that. $3.99. So at least that's a little lower price point. 32 pages. So normal deal, on sale August 22nd. Angel Breaker and Raptor trapped in a Cobra cult lab while the world sleeps. No one is coming to the rescue, but probably because nobody cares about Angel Breaker and cares less about Raptor, right? Who would go save them? Unable to trust even each other, they must now somehow protect teenagers from the horrific Nanny Gillo, a legendary slasher pulled directly from Angel Breaker's deepest, darkest fears. But the idea of Raptor, I said last time I didn't want to end up getting canceled. But he has certain problems. I think that, I wonder if they're going to go with that. I don't want to go too much into it. Problems he has. It's not like erectile dysfunction either. Don't even think that. That's shameful. Night Terrors Zatanna #2, written by Dennis Culver, art and cover by David Baldione. Dennis Culver is doing the current Unstoppable Doom Patrol book that a new issue comes out this week, and I want to get into it. I haven't been so far. That book seems quirky for quirky's sake, but yet won't tell a story. But that's just me. $3.99, 32 pages, August 8th. Insomnia's Sleepless Queen. Every time now I see Insomnia, I'm thinking of the game company. Insomnia's Sleepless Queen has transformed Robot Man into one of her knights, and now the hunt is on for Zatanna to join them. If the Sleepless Knights succeed in making her one of their own, the Earth will never wake from its unending nightmare. Oh my goodness, powerful magic comes with a powerful price. So Zatanna must decide whether she's willing to pay it to save the world. Which seems like any time anybody does any magic spell, you keep hearing there's a cost, but is there? I mean, what is it, like 50 cents? I'll pay it. Which means things aren't looking good for Robot Man. I love also when it's like, oh my God, we're all going to die horrific deaths, but I can't cast that spell because it has a horrific cost. I'm like, bitch, you better cast that spell because there's nothing where we're going to die. There you go. Now, thank God, and I will praise Dennis Culver for this. If he wrote, if they ever give us a solicit with a Zatanna issue where it's backwards talk because of that backwards magic, I'll lose it. I'll never, ever talk again. Maybe that's what you need. I'm going to zip it up is what I do then, because that would be ridiculous. Night Terror's Punchline, number 2, written by Danny Lohr. Not a huge fan, you could say. Blocked by them, but hey, I'd probably block myself if I could. Art by Lucas Mayer. It is $3.99, 32 pages, on sale August 15th. It's Punchline versus a nightmare Batgirl for the control of the hearts and minds of Gotham. Does it want either? Can Punchline, and which Batgirl? Can Punchline overcome her deepest fears and anxieties to defeat this Bat-Cow beast? Oh, so it's Stephanie. Take that, Stephanie fans. Night Terror's Ravager, number 2, and written by Ed Brisson. Art by Dexter Soy. Here's another thing. Again, I love Rose. I love Ravager. But I don't know that I need Ravager through a Stormwatch book or a Night Terrors. I just want Ravager. It's tough, though. What book are you going to put her in? But I don't know. Written by Ed Brisson. Art by Dexter Soy. I like Dexter Soy. That's one soy boy we could all get behind, right? That should be a slogan. $3.99, 32 pages. It'd be funny if Dexter Soy decided to use that. I wonder how people would react. August 1st. With danger hot on her heels and nowhere left to turn, Ravager finds herself trapped in the treacherous nightmare realm, facing the Murder Man and his merciless slaughter squadron. With their sights set on unleashing a reign of terror on our world, they need Ravager's help to break through the barriers separating them from our reality. Can Ravager summon the strength to save us all? I'm still laughing at myself from certain doom. Or unless you fall victim to the Murder Man's diabolical plans. The Murder Man. Oh, who knows the Murder Man? He's got the murder. The clock is ticking and the fate of humanity hangs in the balance. Oh, my goodness. You know what the greatest thing about that solicit is? I believe it's the last of the Night Terrors with the K. So here is what I was saying earlier. And some of those, were okay. I think that you just, like I said, I think that a good sound advice is to check out at least the first 2 issues of the Night Terrors main book, even if you end up it being on the app. And in my mind, I would think that DC will play it smart, because if you're not aware, most people are, but if you're not aware, some of the books that come out each week, day and date, they do release kind of like a weird, like they do with a lot of the rap albums nowadays for the kids. They end up having them surprise drops. Like, oh my God, Drake just released 7 albums this week? I had no idea. So they end up just dropping it. They don't end up letting anybody know, but boom, it's out. And I think that if they are playing their game like I see them playing it, and they're smart, they will release that first issue of Night Terrors on the app, day and date. Check it out. If you're inspired, go for it. I think that, and then, like I said, if you end up, hey, I really like this, then start adding some of the tie-ins from, some of the creative teams that you like or characters that you enjoy. I think that's sound advice. At least, like, when I'm doing this, I think there's, like, the balance going. You have the scales, and it's tipping towards the negative. I got to get back to the positive. Here we go, though. These are some of the other books that you'll be able to read during those spooky months of July and August that aren't even anything to do with Night Terrors. So you get the Penguin, number 1. It might be a little bit of a Night Terror itself because it's written by Tom King, but we'll see. Art by Rafael de la Tour. It is $3.99. For some reason, when I heard of this book, I really thought it was going to be like one of those bullshit $7.99 prestige things. I'm glad. $3.99. Give it a shot. On sale. August 22nd, 32 pages. Revenge is for the birds. After retiring to Metropolis following his quote-unquote death, and now if you're not knowing what that is, this was the kind of fake death that ended up triggering failsafe in the Batman book to then send Batman off to his dream world of no Batman in Gotham, to then go through the multiverse, hook up with Adam West and all the other multiversal deals to spray shark repellent. At the end, boom. Pretty good way of describing it, but what me and Eric on our DC Comics podcast really like, because when he ended up faking his death, he then ran to Metropolis, right? Maybe waddled. And he changed his name to Paul Meredith, and he became a florist. He worked in a flower shop, and we wanted so many stories from that. And when I ended up, I'm like, please, Tom King, make it just about the everyday life of a former Penguin crime boss who now is Paul Meredith selling flowers. And through all of this, have like Clark Kent come in occasionally to get flowers for Lois. And he's like, I know this guy. Why do I know this short fellow? It would have been so cool. It would have been great. Then the next thing you know, Jimmy Olsen comes in. They're going through time, turning into different things, making a Beatles craze. After returning to Metropolis following his quote-unquote death, Oswald Cobblepot, I said that weird, finds himself forced back into the unpredictable and violent Gotham City underworld as a pawn of the United States intelligence community. All right, Tom King, CIA guy. Maybe I wonder if he's gonna have to clear this. He ends up calling up the CIA. Hey, I know, like, anytime I do anything that might divulge secrets, I do have to contact you. I don't want to get in trouble. And they're like, okay, well, that's good, Tom. What do you got going on? He's like, well, I have the Penguin who faked his death and became a florist. Now they hang up on him. They're like, we don't need you to go through that. What the fuck? Like, really? Like, you really think this needs clearance, right? Then we find out the Penguin's real, and that's why he needs it. But you go back to Gotham Underworld as part of the United States intelligence community. Gotham's criminal element has been evolving since he was last in the city. I think it feels like, I mean, if you really held me down, how long has the Penguin been gone? Say like 3 months max, right? And I know things change. We have this hustle and bustle we call life, but I don't know how much it's involved. And his bastard twin children ruling the Iceberg Lounge. Now, again, I ended up talking, I was actually remiss. I should have added that. If you are interested in this whole idea of the Penguin faking his death, and now the mention of his kids that end up coming and taking over the Iceberg Lounge, if you're like, well, I don't know that story. It started in the backup to the Batman deal. It was a Catwoman backup, actually, where she was tasked to find the heirs of Penguin, and it ended up where it was like, it pretty much was the most dangerous game hunting your siblings because the twins ended up killing everyone else. But we never seen anything since, and it was a shame. I wish that we would have seen a little more of that progression. As it's saying, things have evolved. I think that it's going to kind of be like, oh my God, like when did this crap happen? And we didn't really get to see a lot of it. I wish we would have got more of that. And I do think that they are releasing, because of this book, I think in the same deal. I didn't put it because it's more of a collection, but I do think they're releasing a collection of those backups with Catwoman trying to find the siblings or the kids and then getting these twins. So there you go. I think I just ended up confusing more people, including myself. And what the man he framed for his death, Batman. So what's up with the Batmans? Is the Penguin walking into a death sentence? Why didn't he just stay back at the flower shop? Maybe he's forced into it. The CIA, they do such shit, right? Like allow Tom King to leave them and write books for us. From award-winning and best-selling writer Tom King, Batman, and The Human Target, and artist Raphael De La Torre, Daredevil, comes a bloody, hard-boiled tale of redemption and revenge. Oh my, I'm placing bets now. Does a kid die in this first issue? I say yes. You can tell me what you think. Superman 2023 Annual, written by Joshua Williamson, art by Mamada Sarr, Max Rayner, Jack Herbert, and Caitlin Yarsky. And that is $5.99, 48 pages. And for some reason, where I do think that August is a month of an annuals month, 5 Tuesdays. So you have an annuals week. This is coming out on the 8th. It's bucking all the trends. Lois Lane is now editor-in-chief of the Daily Planet. I heard that. But at heart, is it kind of shade? But at heart, she's always in a, because that Perry had a heart attack. I think that's a little bit of shade there. I think that is insensitive. At heart, she's always been an investigative reporter. I actually find her a bit of a conniving jerk a lot of times. I love Lois, and that's why I love her. Investigative reporter or stealer of headlines and stories. Column A, column B. I love so much back in the day, especially where Lois had two things always on her mind: stealing a story and who the hell is Superman. It's all she cared about. That is it. And lately, Metropolis has a whole new set of secrets she must uncover. even if it means investigating her own husband, Superman. He's still on her mind. She's got Superman on her mind and her mind on the Superman. That was like a Wu-Tang Clan song featuring Livewire, Parasite, and Mercy. This special issue is your next big puzzle piece leading to a massive Superman crossover in 2024. Don't miss out. Now, it says a big, massive. Is that just with Action Comics? You would think. It feels like they're giving us hints. Like if this was like, hey, and Catwoman shows up, this is leading to a super. Okay, but that's just all right. I would hope that most of the times it's constantly crossing over with that, and somebody just spilled something in the other room. I don't know. Action Comics presents Doomsday Special #1. This comes out during Annuals Week, written by Dan Waters, art by Eddie Barrows. It is $5.99, 48 pages. One shot goes on sale August 29th. It is a creature beyond reason. My ears are burning. And the only force in the universe strong enough to kill Superman. Oh, it's not me. It's Doomsday, the living embodiment of death, destruction, and evolution. In the wake of Dark Crisis and Lazarus Planet, King Doomsday now sits on a throne of skulls, just like Bane did nude in that Tom King run, across a river of blood holding court over the demons that swarm in the depths of hell. Can you imagine the court that he's holding? He's just grunting stuff. And he may have just found a way back to the land of the living. It's now up to Supergirl and Martian Manhunter to drive the beast back and see what he never again returns to our earthly plane, even if they must die to do it. Plus the return of Bloodwind, the debut of Doomhounds, and a clue to the next big Superman event. Bloodwind being that alter ego deal of Martian Manhunter that was actually going on in the first death of Superman when Doomsday showed up and he didn't want anybody to know. That's pretty fun. And yeah, it sounds okay. I just thought that at the end of Dark Crisis, you ended up just having Doomsday just kind of zapped away. I didn't know where he went. Even in before, just remember, like, where does Doomsday will just show up? And you think like, well, the last time I saw you, you were in the prison of Mr. Oz, almost going after Tim Drake at the time when he was there for a little. He got out. What happened to you? I don't know. Then he shows up. It's always showing up with this big, hey, look at Doomsday. Holy crap. And then he just kind of disappears for a while. But here he is. Hawkgirl #2, written by Jadzia Axelrod, blocked us. Don't even know who it is. Blocked us without any. I don't know why. Probably good, though. Art and cover by Aman K. Noapalan. $3.99, 32 pages. It's 2 of 6. It goes on sale August 15th. Hawkgirl's made a new enemy, but also a new friend. Is Metropolis's A-Town neighborhood big enough for the both of them? Hell if I know. And will Galaxy discover the connection between Hawkgirl's nth metal wings and Vulpecula's plans before it's too late? Vulpecula's plans? I don't know. That doesn't sound great, but we'll see. Galaxy is a character that Jadzia Axelrod had written about in a all-ages, book. What are those things? Books. So there you go. If you were thinking, what's this Galaxy? Next up, Unstoppable Doom Patrol #5, and even with the Hawkgirl #2, there are some Dawn of DC books that will be continuing in these spooky months of July and August. Maybe just not the ones people care about, but Unstoppable Doom Patrol #5, written by Dennis Culver, art and cover by Chris Burnham. It is $3.99, 32 pages, 5 of 7. They added an extra issue to it, mainly, in my mind, because the story hasn't even started yet. And it's on sale August 22nd. The world's strangest superheroes versus Anytown, USA. Oh, no. Just as everyone feared, the Doom Patrol have lost control and are now attacking the idyllic small town of New Poplar, Illinois. Is that random, or it just seems weird? Take that, New Poplar. Is Dennis Culver from there? I thought he was like French-Canadian, Denis Culver. As these unstoppable monsters rampage, a new superhero must rise to stop them. Enter Meta-Woman, because there's not enough characters in this book already. But who is she, and what is her terrible secret? Only she talks behind people's backs, maybe. Only one person has the answers, the team's former chief, Dr. Niles Calder. And I'm not a huge reader of the Doom Patrol, but as we speak, I am in the middle of going through the first trade of Grant Morris's Doom Patrol with my man Gray from Wacky Zashi's Tea House, and I'll put his link. We do it on the YouTubes, and then I put the podcast up on our Patreon as well. But yeah, you can check that out and hear all the fun games that we have with Grant Morrison over there. But what little I've read, we read the first issue last week, and I've read the second one for this week, and I already know that if Niles Calder is the only one who knows your deep, dark, terrible secret, it's really bad. You are sus. World's Finest Teen Titans #2, written by Mark Waid, art by Manuel Lupacchino. And this is that tie-in, obviously, to the Batman Superman World's Finest book. And I'm looking forward to this. I think it'll be real fun. And this is something that I think everybody should grab. If you're like, I'm not going to read anything during those spooky months. No. You should read World's Finest Teen Titans at least. And World's Finest will be next. So you have those books still coming out, which is cool. And it is $3.99, 32 pages, goes on sale August 8th. Welcome to Metropolis, Wonder Girl. Hoping to reconnect with her human roots, Donna Troy leaves Themyscira for the city of tomorrow. There she meets Mal Duncan, a young man with the makings of a true hero. And just in time, too, the Titans will need all the help they can get as they investigate a cry for help that leads them to a haunted house that is not what it seems. Oh, my goodness. And that's cool. You get Mal in there. This seems to be, back in the day in that kind of World's Finest, a little, I'd say, continuity askew. It's kind of playing with things, and that's fun. And I think that seems like, a lot of cool things right there. Cool way to put your pants on. Batman Superman World's Finest #18, written by Mark Waid, art by Travis Moore. Not Dan Moore. Dan Moore is on the cover, so we'll see what's going on. Blue Beetle movie variant by Raphael Albuquerque. I don't know why I read that. I thought it was part of the solicit. $3.99, 32 pages, on sale August 15th. But hey, I like Raphael Albuquerque. Think you know how Superman and Batman met and became friends? Think again. Aw, they were tricking me. Read the untold tale of how their worlds first collided and the stunning secret loss that nearly destroyed their partnership before it even began. It may actually rhyme with Artha, right? No. Adventures of Superman John Kent #6. Tom Taylor writing, art and cover by Clayton Henry. It is $3.99, 32 pages, 6 of 6. So it'll finish in August. And this Adventures of Superman John Kent, I was real excited about. I had my video review, and we argued a bit, some people and me. But the thing about it is, I really just wanted to see John being able to confront Ultraman, to be able to work through the problems that, we haven't really seen on the surface, but probably are inside, deep inside. He can bring them out, and it might have some real good feels to that. But then the Injustice Superman just snapped his neck, and away we go. So this is more of an Injustice deal, and I love Injustice. I'm not anybody who needs to see more of it, though, here. Well, I end up having you sit there and think, he loves Injustice, does he? Look at him. But I actually have an Injustice Reading Club podcast on our Patreon. So now you're like, he's got an Injustice Reading Club. Look at him. But yeah, I really love Injustice. It's Batman versus Superman, Super Son versus Super Son, and Tom Taylor against the reader. Injustice Superman is ruling with a fist of steel. Can John Kent free an entire world? And what could he lose if he tries? We'll have to see, won't we? I don't know. That ends up being a solicit that seems like it's going to be one of those bullshit stories that doesn't really end, that it's going to end up where at the end we're like, oh my God, we get another 6-issue Adventures of Superman. It just doesn't seem. Superman, the Man of Tomorrow, #5, written by Kenny Porter, art and cover by Janoy Lindsay. This is the winner of last year's Round Robin that then kind of got shoehorned into being a Dawn of DC book, though it takes place before actually Dawn of DC. But that's fine. I'm not as big on this as some other people are. It does feel like a digital-only Round Robin winner. I know that sounds like it's kind of shade, but I don't know. It's okay. I hope it gets better. $3.99, 5 of 6, goes on sale August 15th. Connor's been left for dead on a planet far out in the cosmos. With his teleportation band broken, he has no way of getting in touch with Kalex or telling the Green Lantern Corps what Trav's master plan is. He'll need to find a way off this world if he's going to stop Trav. They say Trav. Trav to me sounds like a real bad British slang for like a lady. I think they should be canceled. But even if he does, what a Trav. Right? Sounds right, right? Can he really make a difference in this cold, harsh universe? We'll see. Next up is Batman the Brave and the Bold #4. This will be the first issue after the conclusion to Tom King and Mitch Gerads' Batman Joker story. And whether or not you're a Tom King, Mitch Gerads fan, or you think you need a Batman Joker story, that still was what they were counting on as being the big draw for this book as it came out of the gate. So a lot of times with these, like they did with Urban Legends after the end of the whole Chip Zdarsky Red Hood story, you know, what's going to replace it? That's really the important thing. It's easy enough to get that big thing to start something, but really the legs of the book are going to be, you know, determined by what replaces these stories. And if you end up not having a really good thing replacing the first thing after just 3 issues, you might have some problems. And that's what I see here, because this book is written by Dennis Culver, Ed Brisson, Rob Williams, and Megan Fitzmartin, with art by Otto Schmidt, Jeff Spokes, Stefano Landini, and Belen Ortega. $7.99, 64 pages, comes out August 22nd. But it is something that you can read instead of Night Terrors with a K. Kind of. Let's get into this. While investigating a string of bloody gangland murders, Batman comes face to face with the newest member of his rogues gallery, the brutal Mr. Baseball. Anybody tell the Mets? Because I think they're going to be pissed. Dennis Culver and Otto Schmidt tell a gripping, violent tale of the Dark Knight. Now, please, Mr. Baseball is not going well with gripping, violent, or brutal. We'll see. The thing is, if you've seen the art for this, it just looks like Negan from The Walking Dead. So it's not even original on that front. But that's what they're doing to replace Tom King and Mitch Gerads. Dennis Culver is the next big draw, and what he's come up with, a Negan wannabe Mr. Baseball. This book may not last very long. Now, you get a Stormwatch story, though. Ed Brisson, a lot of people I saw in that first issue, they did like the Stormwatch stuff. So, okay, well, maybe that's the big draw, because this is a book, right? You don't like the Night Terrors? Oh, wait a minute. A Night Terrors tie-in. What the hell are they doing? You already have 8 million at last count tie-ins already. You're already doing that. Why are you doing it in this? Why do you have a Night Terrors tie-in in this book? Stormwatch members Flint, Phantom One, Core are all trapped in a nightmarish world where their deepest fears lurk around every corner, and their fear is just the beginning because a new enemy has emerged, the Tempest. And I'm going to tell you, this story is bound to be complete and utter horseshit, because you're going to have to count on people not actually of reading Night Terrors. So you're going to have to catch people up to even start the damn thing. And then when you get to it, there's not going to be any time left. Why would you tie in the Night Terrors? You have that already. Holy moly. Well, maybe the third story. The Return of Amelia Harcourt by Rob Williams and Stefano Landini. All right. Well, they're not even trying now. And I'll tell you, just personally, I hate Rob Williams. I think he's an asshole. And I will tell you it's because he ended up finishing his Suicide Squad run on the Rebirth deal and then used it as an opportunity to just talk shit on my man Reggie, was on our site and our podcast, only because Reggie didn't like the book. You know why? Because it sucked. There you go, Rob Williams. Screw you. So, but there you go. Amelia Harcourt. Really? So, is it possible that the fourth story, which is always going to be the black and white stuff, could that end? Oh, it's Megan Fitzmartin. All right. Well, this one's not good. Megan Fitzmartin and Belen Ortega tell a powerful and brutal story about family life and death. All right. So they're not trying. That book's going to fail. If these are your next round of stories, just forget it. Steelworks #3 is next, written by Michael Dorn / Worf, Gem. Art by Sammy Basri. $3.99, 3 of 6, 32 pages. Goes on sale August 1st at the mercy of the Silver Mist. See, we had the Red Mist already, but now we have the Silver Mist. Natasha Irons may have solved the mystery of the strange intruder at Steelworks Tower, but will she live to tell the tale? Kind of guess she will. Silver Mist's plan to sabotage Steel's technology takes a twisted new turn, and the murder is in the air, unlike love. Meanwhile, John Henry's bold vision for Metropolis has driven a wedge between him and the super family, all on the eve of Metropolis's biggest celebration, Centennial Day. We'll see how that is. Tales of the Titan #2. Whew, we have too many Teenie Howard books this week. or this month, I mean, written by Teenie Howard. Anytime you have one, it's too many. Written by Teenie Howard, art by Eleonora Carlini. I am really losing it. $4.99, 40 pages, on sale August 15th. She's been called the daughter of Trigon and the herald of the apocalypse, but Raven has never let these things define who she is. She just bitches about him constantly. Ready to step into this new era of the Titan, she plans to leave her past behind, but history has a habit of repeating itself like the split ends sang back in the day. And when Raven comes to the aid of a woman in over her head, with the Church of Blood, of course, she'll have to face a terrible reminder of her mother's tragic past and an evil closer to her than you think. All right. Spirit World number 4. Let's get through these now. Spirit World is one of the We Are Legends books that include Vigil and City Boy that I'm actually liking a lot more than I ever thought. So I'm excited. Spirit World number 4, written by Alyssa Wong, art and cover by Haining. It's $3.99, 4 of 6, 32 pages, goes on sale August 8th. Cass Kane. I don't like when they say Cass Kane. I like Cass. I like Cassandra Kane. I don't like Cass Kane. It doesn't roll off the tongue very well. Batgirl has died before. Yep. And it seems the spirits of the spirit world met her when she passed through before being revived by the Lazarus pit. But then how come she doesn't remember being there? Then as Constantine, I think it's just because you come back in the Lazarus pit, you're all wacky. Then as Constantine's memories start to fade after being in the spirit world for too long, he begins to turn on Xanthi, who needs to find a way back to the land of the living, or Constantine will be permanent resident of the land of the dead. Either way, time's running out. Anybody going to miss Constantine? I know Zatanna would, because who else is going to call her Z, right? Maybe Batman, but still, I think that's the deal. Constantine. The Vigil number 4 is next. I like that first issue, written by Ram V, art by Lalit Kumar Sharma. $3.99, 32 pages, 4 of 6, on sale August 15th. We have a bit of a robot talk, but I won't do it. Who are the Vigil? See, I tricked you. I did it. Dodge file loading. Dodge is the speedster metahuman in the secret organization called the Vigil. Not too secret anymore now that you're telling us. Her alias is likely to be a woman who goes by the name Dinah Com. Dinah Com. It makes me think that it's like a clever name that it means. It doesn't. All files connected to this name have been erased. The only information left that was pieced together by Checkmate is that Dodge has a condition that places an extraordinary amount of fast twitch muscle fiber in her body. Her suit allows her to control the fibers to move at the speed of thought. The multiversal and space-time repercussions of this are to be discussed in the next transmission. Stay tuned for more. You are being watched. That's right. I'm a sus computer that will peer out and cuckold you from my closet. Transmission ending. Pants down. There you go. And scene. City Boy number 4, written by Greg Pak. Art and cover by Minkyu Young. $3.99, 32 pages, 4 of 6, on sale August 22nd. Nightwing isn't sure whether City Boy is the sort of person who will use his superpowers for good, but he knows he needs City Boy's help to track down a criminal in Bloodhaven, so he might just take that chance. Meanwhile, something is causing City Boy's powers to burst out of control. Didn't we know that's the Lazarus rain and lightning? And is able to accidentally see events that took place in certain parts of the city dating back hundreds of years, all before he passes out. Thought that was all spelled out, that was going to be because of the Lazarus storm. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm right. Or maybe I'm just crazy. Batman Incorporated number 11, written by Ed Brisson, art and cover by John Timms. I like Batman Incorporated. And every time a solicit comes out, I'm worried that it's the final issue. And it doesn't say that, so we keep going. $3.99, 32 pages, August 8th. It's not selling well, is why I get worried, but I like it. Ghostmaker and Batman Incorporated continue to battle amongst themselves while trying to take down the global threat of Joker Incorporated. Raven Red faces off against Dusty Bronco, my porn name in Detroit, the man who shot his, it's the man who shot his father, but also my porn name in Detroit. Only in Detroit, though. I go there for some special filmings. How far is he willing to go for revenge? Hopefully not as far as I did in Detroit, I'll tell you that. Ooh, wait, I needed the money. Batman of China makes a surprising about-face in order to protect his sister Alpaca from the wrath of Ghostmaker. And if you're not really familiar with Batman of China, Beiji, and Alpaca, you should go. And I know a lot of people didn't want to read it because they thought, I don't need the Superman of China, the Kenan Kong. It was really good. I had fun with that series. It's Gene Luen Yang. If you have the app, why not? Just go check out a couple issues. You have to go past the first one, though. The first one makes Kong Kenan kind of a jerk. I still liked it because that was how it felt different. But as you go on, pretty good series. So I suggest that. Grey Wolf and Knight may hold the key to stopping Joker Incorporated, or have they just played right into Joker's sinister plans? We'll have to see. We'll really have to see. But last solicit of the night, before I just pass out, because I don't know, I can't take this much reading in one sitting, obviously. Wildcats number 10, written by Matthew Rosenberg, art and cover by Steven Segovia, $3.99, 32 pages, on sale August 8th. I have not read, I read the first 3 issues, actually. I was just going to say I've not read a page of Wildcats. I read the first 3 issues thinking that maybe I would talk about it on the podcast or do reviews, but it's one thing to not like something. It's another thing to not even know what the hell is going on. And I think it's even beyond my lack of Wildcats knowledge. It's more of the lack of writing skill of Matthew Rosenberg. That's what I'm going to blame it on. Just to point out that the Joker, the Man Who Stopped Laughing nonsense, that book, I don't think that, and I didn't see a solicit for it. Maybe I missed it, but that book's going nowhere slow, and I can't stand it. Matthew Rosenberg is on my list of writers to avoid, but I have to talk about the things because we talk about the things on the podcast and stuff. So that's why it sucks sometimes doing podcasts and reviewing books. But it is on sale August 8th. Locked, loaded, and ready to roll. Grifter's back, and the Wildcats are going to war. The end. That sounds great. All right, you're doing things, Matthew Rosenberg. But that is it. That is it, everyone. I hope that you stuck with me to the end because, boy, it is tough. It's a lot of reading going on, and that is not my strong point. I'm not a smart man, as they say. I don't have what they call attention. So with that, thanks, everybody, for listening. I hope you enjoyed, had some fun, and actually figured out some of the things. Maybe, hey, I'll get involved in that Night Terrors with a K, or even if you haven't, okay, I'll read stuff like the Mark Waid World's Finest, the Teen Titans part, and the regular book, or maybe you like stuff like the Penguin from Tom King. I don't know. Everybody can find a book, but there are a couple things to be reading when these all come about in August. So I will be talking about, as I said, all of the Night Terrors stuff on YouTube, Patreon, and our regular podcast. So if you do want to end up, I'm not going to get involved, but you want to know what happened or maybe check it out, we'll be talking about all those. But that's for a later time to push. So that's it. Thanks, everybody, and I'll talk to you all later.
You are all weirdos.
Weird science is the revolution. Weird science is the revolution.